The following is a production of Redneck Announcer Radio. What is going on, y'all? Redneck Announcer Jake Reeves, back for another episode. DBD door banging download, coming right at you. Good evening, folks. I'm the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves.
Here comes the Redneck Announcer from Rome, Georgia. Where has he been all night?
I'm a blessed man. I really am. I am absolutely blessed.
Oh, these old boys are getting after it.
We got beef right here.
Folks, welcome to the Madhouse. This is the door banging down. And what is going on? Redneck Announcer Jake Reeves here, back for another episode of DBD, Door Banging Download, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Appreciate the love, the support from each and every one of you. And trying a little something new right here. Try to record a little bit different. So if it sounds like shit and it's off, deal with it, because this is actually a little bit easier for me to do it this way, and I'm not going to explain it live here on the podcast, because then everybody else will go, oh, it is easier. And then everybody else will get to make one, and then, I'm not going to help somebody try to figure it out, because then it'll come back and probably bite me in the ass. A little foreshadowing for some of you out there for the We Got Beef coming up later in the show. But appreciate the love, the support. Like I said, from each and every one of you. I say it each and every time. I really do mean that. So much love. I'm sure we'll probably have some new listeners here coming up very, very soon. We already had a couple of new subscribers from the King of Daytona from the NASRA 500. I don't know who the hell it is. I don't know who the subscribers was. I don't see that. I don't see a list of subscribers when I go in and I look and I upload this stuff. I have no idea who the hell subscribes to the podcast. And that's something a lot of y'all probably didn't even know. Some of y'all probably didn't even know that y'all probably sit there and y'all are like, well, yeah, I subscribed to your podcast. You didn't see it. Well, no, I didn't see it. I see the numbers, but I don't see who it is. So just so y'all know that, I don't see it. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. I see the numbers. The numbers are good. I just don't know who the hell it is. So, is what it is. But we'll bullshit about that later. Anyway, thanks to the sponsors, obviously DSR for Dan Gobble. I haven't popped up one of his promos in a little while. Hopefully, maybe I can pop that up. I have to dig into the archives and try to pull that up. But thank you very much to him. And obviously, NASRA and everybody involved. And yes, that YouTube logo that you see right there and the Redneck Announcer Productions, yes, that is a YouTube channel. That is my YouTube channel. Used it as well. Done some live streaming on the radio broadcast, kind of like Wesley does with CRN, only his is a little bit bigger than mine. But his has been around for quite some time, and I'm still trying to get my shit figured out. So, you get a chance, go over, check us out on YouTube. Going to be putting up some more stuff, some more live streaming with NASRA, some more live streaming with some race broadcasts that we got. And putting out some content, some gaming content, all kinds of cool stuff whenever I get the opportunity. But, get all that out of the way, we'll start kind of diving into, obviously, what would be Engine Heat. Don't really have the song put in for that, but like I said, still trying to figure this out. It's a little bit easier, but, because like I said on the last episode, you don't have a lot of time to be able to try to do this shit anymore, so you just wing it and you just go with it, which I've always just winged it, for whatever, the broadcast, the podcast, every bit of this is always just off the hip. It's like old Nick Saban says, throw some shit on the wall, see if it sticks. Well, that's pretty much what I do. I don't go by a script. I never have. So, I obviously need to talk about the King of Daytona. Was in my eyes, a huge success. It was a success. I can't remember how many drivers got in it. I could actually pull that up because I think Brady and them, they had a thing of how many people got in it. It wasn't the amount of the first one. The second one was a little bit lower, but it was still, in my opinion, it was still a damn good one, so to speak. And, well, they went in there and they deleted all the shit. So, so I don't have a clue what it is. As far, I don't know what the damn number was. I have no idea what the number was. I do know that it was a long ass week, and anybody that was involved in the events, if you were in a qualifying race or whatever. First off, I know Brady and I know Cody. I know they thanked everybody as well. But from the bottom of my heart as well, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that either participated in the race, tuned in and watched. So many great fans, so many people tuned in to watch. And I like to stand a hand to Brady and Cody and tell them thank you very much for putting it on, because it's a bitch. I mean, it is a bitch. I don't think everybody understands what you go through, or what Cody and Brady and TJ and Justin and all of them that had, to do with the race control and everything. I don't think everybody kind of understands what they go through to put one of those races together. And I really don't think all the drivers in NASRA understand what they go through to put those damn things together. And that's not just the King of Daytona. That's every week. That is Monday, Tuesday with Josh got his deal going on. Justin got his deal going on with the NASRA Cup Series, and then Brady and Cody and what they're doing on the Friday Series and everything else with cops. Obviously I wasn't there last night. Gotta have a night, man. Gotta have a night. I don't think I'm gonna be there next Friday night neither. I got to get some of this. I got to get back, I got to get back to the family a little bit. I got to give back to the family and everybody that's, my wife and my son, and spend some time with them, because that whole week, it took a toll on me, personally and professionally. And I know it took a toll on Wesley and Dean as well. And real quick, want to say thank you to both of them, and also Tyler stepping in on the first night on Sunday night. Tyler Dittmer stepping in and bailing me out on that one. I had another race, which I'll talk about these guys here in a second as well. But the Heart2Heart guys. Just everybody that was involved in some way, shape, fashion, or form. Thank you to each and every one of them. It was a blast. Like I said, it was stressful. When you get up and you get up at 5:00 and you go to work and you work all day, and then you come home, you get to see your family just a little bit, and then bam, you're rolling for about 2 or 3 hours. You don't get a whole lot of sleep and everything else, but that's what we signed up for. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be there. It's not that we had to do it. It's that we wanted to do it. We wanted to represent. And I say this not just because I'm sponsored by them. I say this wholeheartedly by the best fucking race league that is out there, which is the North American Sim Racing Association. And they ain't nobody gonna change my mind on that. But it was awesome. It was great. It was fantastic. And obviously there will be more races, more big money races that will come in the future. I will say this: I'm tickled to death that we don't do that shit every week. If we done that shit every week, you would hear me ring a fucking bell. Bad. Like, I would be ringing that bell 9 ways Sunday. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it every fucking week. Could not do it. And I know they couldn't do it. I know Wesley and them, they couldn't do it. Dean couldn't do it. I'm just happy it happens much as it does. Like I said, if it was every fucking week, I couldn't do it. If it's 52 weeks a year, no. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it 365 days. I damn sure couldn't, and I know damn well they couldn't. And the drivers would eventually get burnt out on it eventually. And so that, I kind of like how they got the whole schedule going on and everything. But anyway, Malik Ray gets the win of the King of Daytona. Well deserved, might I add. We talked about this last year with how it worked out with Malik. And controversial as it may be, Kyler got the win last year. I don't even know where Kyler finished at this year. I know he got in, was able to get in and transfer and go straight into the 500. I think he won his qualifying race. So he got in, and it was an aggressive-ass race. It really was. I can't remember how many cautions was in it for the 500 milers. I will say this real quick. Before we get into the race, I meant to bring this up already, but it was very cool at the start. If anybody didn't get to watch the the very start when we came in during our intros, if y'all didn't get to see that, that was badass because Wesley and me, we were on cams, and I had my son. He was sitting in my lap, and we got, it was pretty cool. I got David on there and everything, and he don't know what's going on, and he, before we went live, I was wanting Dean to hurry up and throw the fucking camera on as quick as I could because he was, moving his hands like he was waving. I guess he was thinking, people was actually watching at that time. You don't know what a 6-month-old was thinking, but he was like closing his hand like he was waving. And he was holding up one finger and all that stuff. And, 1 minute, like my dad usually does with him, 1 minute and everything. Either that or he was going number one, I don't know. And then sure enough, when we go live, excuse me, he done none of it. If anything, I think he got pissed off at one point when we had him on the cam. But, excuse me, but, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was awesome. And, that'll forever be in the NASRA archives of something that I'll always remember was having him on a broadcast. And he can go back and he can look at that and go, damn, I was live on YouTube on the NASRA 360 Racing Network when I was 6 months old, and I didn't have a care in the world. And it's pretty cool to have your kids on like that and everything else. And I'm sure other people's did it before as well, but when you do it, it means a lot. I mean, it really does. And and Wesley was right. Damn, fucking cold coming around, I guess. But anyway, Wesley was right that it did mean, that that was the biggest that I probably smiled in a long time, and it really has, and it meant a lot to me, personally. But back to the racing and everything. Like I said, Malik gets it. Was very. I mean, you had some guys that was making moves that I was sitting there watching them. Now, granted, when I said on the broadcast, when I said it, when Wesley was like, are you really drinking? Well, yeah. I mean, I think I killed a whole fucking I at least drank 6. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Over 6. I think I had my box of my beer. I had a 12-pack. And, and like I said, and I said this, to Wesley, and I say this, on here. I used to drink, a good bit. I used to drink about every weekend. Now it's gotten to the point where, like I've said before, I don't get to drink that much. You can't drink. You can't drink that much around 6-month-old. You gotta watch them. So I have cut back a little bit. But when, the opportunity arises and we get to situations where you can drink, you throw them motherfuckers back. I mean, you do. In a span of 3.5, 4 hours, however long it was, because it started at 7. I think we were done by 11. I mean, y'all can brag about y'all's numbers and everything, but I think I might have had about 8 by the time we got done. And Wesley's telling me, and which, I mean, y'all can hear it on Redneck and NASRA Productions from the whole live stream. You can hear it. He's like, you better not be getting shit-faced. I don't want to have to carry your ass. And I'm like, nah, I think I'll be all right and everything. But anyway, I'm getting fucking sidetracked here. Anyway, it was an aggressive race. There was people pushing and people shoving, and they were making moves, and it started off. Everybody kind of got a little bit too aggressive, pushing around a little bit too much, and side drafting a little bit too much, and tore some cars up, tore people out of hell and everything. But it got to the point to where there was an instance where everybody kind of sat there and said, you know what? Let's calm the fuck down a little bit. Let's ride a little bit. We got a 500-mile race. We got plenty of time. Let's not tear shit up. Let's calm down a little bit and let's get some laps in, give the fans, something at home to watch. And, I mean, and it ended pretty damn good. I mean, to be honest with you, Malik Ray able to get that win, like I said, well-deserved win from Malik, like I said earlier. Controversy may be however you want to look at it, but he got the win and deserved it and got a hell of a payday out of it. And like I said, well deserved. And the money might be the thing on it. He might be cool with the money, and I'm sure a lot of the drivers. I mean, yeah, I mean you're gonna take the money when it's there. I mean, yeah, I mean you fucking stupid if you don't take the money, but at the same time, I think Malik, knowing, the importance of it and knowing what happened last year with it, how controversial it was, I think he knew that, this actually, that this is it. Like, I got it. Like, I got this bitch this time around. And, and I mean, I know it meant a lot to him. I know it did. Hell, it would have meant a lot to me. I mean, hell, it meant a lot to me just to win a damn Friday night truck race. I'm sure it meant a lot more to him to come home with it and and get it done and be able to go through all the hell and everything that went on throughout the week. I mean, you had guys. I mean, the qualifying races, to a certain extent, some of them qualifying races, I was looking back on them and I was like, motherfucker, what are y'all doing? Like, Jesus. I mean, hell, I think one of them was the damn qualifying races was 20 laps. And I think they were popping, I mean, some of them. Now, not all of them, but some of them was like 5 cautions in a span of 25, of 20 laps. 5 cautions in 20 laps. I mean, and I might be over-exaggerating on that. It might have been 3 or 4, but hell, it was close. I mean, 3, 4, 5, what the fuck ever. Some of them was caution fests. And, but you get yourself in that situation of 20 lappers, and you win, and you lock yourself into the Saturday race, and you ain't got to worry about it. All you got to do is just show up for the fucking duels and see what happens. It's not that bad of a deal. It's not. So you want to lock yourself into Saturday, and then we was listening to some guys. They were just sitting there saying, you know what? I'm just fucking happy I made it into the duels. Like, I'm happy I'm into Friday, because there was people that was busting their ass all week, and they got all the way to Thursday, and they still didn't make it into the duels. And that is heartbreaking as hell. To bust your ass to try and not able to make it. So it's unfortunate for some of them guys that tried their ass off and couldn't make it. But, I mean, you know, they paid to play, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for them, and you hate that, to be honest with you. But like I said, congrats to Malik. You know, I've watched him over in the Coca-Cola iRacing Series. I think that's what it still is now, but you know, the big boys, and you know, he's, you know, real good over there as well, and I'm sure he's you know, he said, you know, this is one of the biggest races of his career, and I'm sure it is. So congratulations to him, and being able to pull it off. Another thing is, you know, within NASRA, obviously they had their cutoff race to go into their playoffs. And, you know, Jeffrey Johnson got his very first win at Talladega. And, you know, I mentioned this on the broadcast Monday night. I mentioned this, and it was big. Like, it was huge. It was awesome to see Jeff come out of it and get that win and secure that win and you know, and get that, you know, and get it. Because I can't remember how many starts Wesley said he had. He had a shitload of starts. And then you finally are able to finish. I mean, you got a tale of two halves right here. Literally. I mean, you got Malik Ray go through all kinds of hell, go through all that shit that he had last year for the NASRA 500. He comes out, bam, he wins the fucker. And then you look at Jeffrey Johnson. You know, new team, Bandits Motorsports, don't forget the fucking S. You know, Bandits Motorsports with Cofield and Lyons and all those guys, and then comes out there, and then bam, it wasn't right off the bat, but eventually that win happened, and he got it. And then he, you know, like I said, comes home with the win, and, you know, able to make it into the playoffs off that win. I mean, he was going to make it in anyway, but at the same time, you like to have that win, not just to get yourself in, but just to say, you know what, I won a damn race in this league. And, you know, he said it, and I've said it, and everybody that has sat in those races on, you know, Monday through Friday, everybody, I don't give a fuck who it is, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, you name it, everybody will sit there and say these races is hard as hell to win. And they are hard as hell to win these races. Just because of the, you know, skill that is out there. And, you know, I doubt anybody's going to sit there and look and go, oh, well, it was just a super speedway. It doesn't make a fuck. Yeah, it does. It does. It does not matter. And now, I don't think anybody will say that about Jeff. I really don't. You know, this is a guy, you know, that's paid his dues. He's worked his ass off. He's been around for a good while. He's a veteran, and he's able to get it. I would love to see Raul Meza get a win. I guarantee you he wouldn't be texting and driving anymore. I can guarantee you that. He'd throw that phone so far through the fucking window. If he won, he'd be so excited he'd break his window, and he'd have to buy a new window and probably a new phone. He'd be so happy. I'd love to see that on the live cam, but if that ever happens and we get in that situation, Dean Hopton, if you're listening to this, if I forget come Monday night, please, God, do that. Please. If Meza looks like he's going to win the fucking race, please get a live cam on his ass when he crosses that start-finish line, because we've got to see what the hell he does. Because that phone's going. And if it don't, matter of fact, I had a Discord message I sent Meza. Everybody else don't know about it. But I sent him a text message in Discord while he was racing, and I told him, I said, get off your fucking phone. And he sent me back some laughing emojis, not during that race. obviously. But he's like, oh, I got business going on. Fuck that business for about 2. Well, nah, I can't say that. If I had, serve pro in the business and everything else that he's got going on, I wouldn't really, hey, you got to work your business, man. You got to do what you got to do. But, like I said, Jeff gets the win, locks himself in. And playoffs, obviously, they kick off this Monday night. And we'll be ready to rock and roll with that. Can't wait to see how that's going to work out because, we'll see what's going to happen. They've already got the season 7 schedule out for this, if some of you didn't already saw this. But next race is going to be at Texas, obviously January the 19th, Monday. So it'll be at Texas, so that'll be a pretty good race. And see what they do, and then they flip-flop, and then they go right back to Daytona. And, yeah, so right back to that son of a bitch. But anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, congratulations to Jeff, rather, on the win and, everything on that. And, like I said, well deserved. And, congratulations to him. A couple more quick notes on some other race leagues that I'm doing. The Heart2Heart Motorsports Truck Series, or Heart2Heart Truck Series, I should say. Call them with Motormouth Broadcasting with Jim Cunningham. I told them guys, I'd come back for another season, that 12 race season for the trucks. I was contemplating it, I really was. But at the end of the day, they asked for me. And, and that's why I'm staying on Mondays, because Wesley asked me. Wesley wants me to be there with him. And so these guys asked me the same thing on Sunday nights, and they were like, we want you. And I'm like, well, Sunday nights probably won't be that bad of a deal. I'm still thinking about the family aspect of it. 9 times out of 10, you ain't doing a whole lot of shit on Sunday night anyway, because you got to get up Monday morning and you got to go to work. So I figured it went all the way to April, so I figured, fuck it, why not? Another 3 months of it. Really about 2 months, to be honest with you, because it goes to April and they start February the 8th, I believe it is. So you only got 2 more months of that, so I figured, fuck it, why not? These old boys, they're recruiting, trying to get some more guys in. So if you feel like racing in the truck series, and very good race league, might I add, very good race league, very good group of guys. With Scott Casanave and Bobby Layton Jr., Bobby Joe, and Austin Cornprost, all these guys. BJ Lane III, and Rusty Robinson, all these guys, that make this league up. And like I said, they're talking about recruiting. I think I already got about 5 extra ones coming in, so they may end up having about a 30 truck field before it's all said and done when they come to February the 8th. So they'll have a pretty damn good field, and it'll be a pretty good show. And they always put on a hell of a show. They really do. So I end up having to pause it and get a drink of damn water. Damn. But yeah, I mean, great group of guys, and I'm happy to come back, because like I said, they asked for me. They wanted me really bad. And I said, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. Let's come back for another season, and and hook them up. And now they're already trying to get me on the season after this, and I told them, let's not count our fucking chickens before the hatch. Now let's not get crazy with it. I can't do it. So I'm be happy you getting me on this one right here, and then after that we're gonna really cut it slim and everything else. But I want to do them right and everything else, so take care of them. And so another league, XCAL, calling those races with Hamish Monroe. He's an Aussie. Can't call him Australian, because Dean Hopton's got that one, but he will be the Aussie, at least in my eyes. Got tabbed to do that on Tuesdays. Jim wanted me to come in and call these races. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all this. Look, these old boys, they drive these damn street stocks. I'm going to tell you what. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever seen this shit. This was my first time coming into the XCAL brand, and from what I was told, this is the iRacing's premier street stock series. Now, when I heard this, I was thinking, okay, premier series right here with iRacing, this is going to be some kick-ass shit. I'm thinking, hell yeah. Bunch of professionals and all that shit. And Jim Cunningham's, if he's listening to this, he is laughing his ass off when I say that, which they are professional, don't get me wrong. At the same time, you blend professional with fucking misfits, and that's what you get with XCAL. And I mean, they've got a thing where they sit there and say, it's banned for us to say a good group of guys that race. And I'm going to have to really learn to not say that, because I say it each and every time when I see some of the guys out there racing. Shout out to the drivers, putting on a hell of a show, great drive. They do a fantastic job on the racetrack. You can't say that about these guys. And damn it, I ain't going to bullshit you. These old boys, they got some shit going on. Like, there is beef 9 ways to Sunday with these boys. We've already got one of them, Joe Campbell. I remember got wrecked at the season opener in Charlotte. He got fucked coming into the pits, and then got turned by this guy that's calling himself the self-proclaimed king, Matthew Bear. Which, to be honest with you, he acted like a fucking joker. I mean, anybody that's got that kind of, I talked about it a little bit on the broadcast, and they kind of gave us a little bit more free reign than what you would have on a NASRA broadcast. So you can get away with saying that was the craziest shit I ever saw, and they really don't care. You cut down on the F-bombs a little bit and everything else, but they give you a little bit of free reign, and they want you to kind of, be a little more vocal, so to speak. They don't care. So I'm going to have to get used to that. I have not figured that part out yet, so I've got to get used to when I am live on the air, I can say, yeah, that was the shittiest move I think I have seen one of these boys do when somebody gets right rear hooked. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to figure out how the hell to work that out. Because, for so long I've done, these races professionally and been a professional and tried to. And at the same time, we are being professional. We are being professional broadcasters when we're doing this. We just crank it up to fucking 10 while we're doing it. And let me rephrase that. We crank it up to 10 when we do NASRA. You're cranking up to about fucking 20 with these guys. And you speak your mind. They want you to speak your mind. They don't want you to hold back. And when Jim told me about all this, I was like, oh, so this is basically a door-banging download broadcast. Pretty much. I mean, that's what the fuck it is. It is a door-banging download broadcast. You're just calling these guys driving these street stock races. They don't give a shit. Well, all right, then. Let's see what happens. We'll throw caution to the wind, and we'll keep pushing forward with it. And, we'll see what we can get away with, see what we can't get away with. We don't want to call somebody a pussy or nothing like that. We don't want to get crazy and screw it up, but, we've already had a couple of them drop F-bombs already, so hell, we'll try it. We'll see what happens. If they kick us out, they kick us out. I hope they don't, but, anyway. So, that's kind of what I got going on, behind the scenes, just some other stuff, that I've got going on. Sundays when it starts back up in February, and then, obviously going to run DSR Electric this season and then next season and see what happens and everything else with that. And then got XCAL throughout the year. I think I go all the way to September. So I got like 30 races, so that's a long fucking time, but even still, you narrow it down and you get it down to 3 races a week, and then you got 4 nights to spend with family. It's not that bad of a trade-off, and it works out pretty good when I get done with cops. And I would love to stay with cops. I would love, I told Brady and Cody, I said, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just that Friday night deal that I got right there, it was good for a while, and now it's not. So, but I'm going to finish it out, and we're going to have some fun with it with Tyler, and I think Dean's coming back on Fridays for the producing and everything else. I haven't watched the broadcast from last night, but anyway, it'll be pretty cool to check that out and see what happens. So that'll be some fun stuff, and be some pretty good stuff to see what happens and all that good stuff. And I'm fucking rambling. I'm rambling at this point. I will say real quick. I do want to mention this because it just come up and it just popped up into my head about NASRA. And Wesley asked me about this Monday night. I did want to bring this up. You know what? I'll save it. I'll save that topic for the part that I think that everybody is more or less waiting on.
We got beef, folks. That is beef. Is there beef? And I gotta ask this because obviously there is beef. No, bad blood hell. We got beef. That's exactly what we got,
folks. This is when all hell breaks loose. Welcome to We Got Beef. Yeah, you know what time it is. Time for We Got Beef. Obviously sponsored by the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Thank you very much, NASRA 360 Racing Network. Best broadcasting organization. Any of you, and everybody else that I work for, sorry, but just love calling races with NASRA. Hopefully that doesn't get me fired on the other jobs, but anyway, NASRA 360 Racing Network sponsoring it, and the part I was, fixing to talk about, with NASRA, and it's got nothing to do with NASRA. It's got to do with, it was some stuff that me and Wesley, we were talking about on Monday, and obviously NASCAR coming out with their playoff format. Their brand new playoff format, not necessarily brand new. Let's not get fucking stupid here. And you new subscribers, I think this is the part where everybody likes to listen to. They like to hear when I get pissed off and I get ill. This is not necessarily one of those pissed off situations that I'm going to bring up right here. It's not that bad, but it can be to a certain extent. So, NASCAR comes out with their playoff system. And, obviously, that win in the end shit, that shit need to be gone. I didn't like it to an extent. Stages and, 3 races and people get knocked out and all that other shit. It was trying to be entertainment. It may have been okay right there for about the first 2 seasons, but after that, it ran its course. It got old. Like it got old. We're not stick and ball sports. This is auto racing. This is what it needs to be. It needs to, it doesn't need to be knocking people out in the fucking playoffs. Now, with that being said, obviously I've always advocated, if that's how you pronounce that word, advocated, and always sat here and said that I wanted a 36 race point system. And there's a lot of people out there that would love to have a 36 race point system in NASCAR. They do it, with late models and, short track scene and everything else. The 36 race, season was what brought, nobody gave a fuck. They probably did back in the 90s and, early 2000s and everything. I'm sure everybody give a fuck. You get somebody that goes out there and they wax their ass 36 races and they got a 500-point lead. Give them the damn trophy. I mean, they fucking deserved it. They deserve that championship. They kicked everybody's ass that year. They got something that everybody else don't, whether it's illegal or fucking legal. It doesn't matter. They went out there. The team did it. The driver did it. Give them the damn trophy. They deserve it. If they lock it up 3 races in advance, fuck it. They get it. Now, obviously people cared about the point system, but everybody just wanted to go to the damn race. Everybody wanted to go to a NASCAR race. Everybody wanted to go for the entertainment of just seeing cars going around the racetrack. It was families, like, Southern families that, and I'm not saying just Southern families. I mean, I might have said that wrong. I mean, hell, just anybody. America's families. That, the families that busted their ass throughout the week, and saved up that money, and they loaded the kids up in the car, and they went camping, they got the RV, or they got a hotel, whatever. Loaded them sumbitches up, load the cars up, the cars being the sumbitches, let me clarify that real quick, but loaded them sumbitches up and drove them all the way to the racetrack, got their families, and they spent the weekend with their families. That is what it was about, to go and watch auto racing. NASCAR. Drivers like Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd, all these guys, you name it, to go and watch these guys and go watch them race and manhandle a 900 pound, my fucking ass. Good God, I need a beer. 900 horsepower race car around a racetrack. And that was what drove the fans there. Yeah, it was, well, then they went to this chase deal, which is what they have now. And, like I said, it's better than what the fuck we had. But the point of the beef part that I'm getting at is Wesley asked me, what did I think? Do I think that NASRA will adapt to the 10 race chase, and that's it? Will NASRA adapt to it? I don't think they will. Now, I said a little bit about it, and I said it on the Monday night broadcast at Talladega. I said, that I would talk about it on the door banging download. So here's my opinion. Here's why I don't think it's going to happen. And some of you drivers in NASRA, y'all can get pissed. Y'all can say what the fuck you want, but I am right. And it's the beef that I got with y'all is going to be the problem here. You run a 10 race chase. You know what? Fuck it. Leave it like it is right now. Run how we got right now. We got the playoffs starting up Monday night. Okay. 24 drivers. Okay. You go through them first 3 races. And tell me I'm wrong now. Tell me I am wrong. Because this shit has happened in the past. If you get knocked out of the playoffs, I guarantee you, goes from 24, I think 24-16. I think that's what it is. That's 8 drivers. I would not be surprised. You bet your ass at least 4 of those drivers, they're going to miss half or half of the playoffs after they get knocked out. Because they don't give a fuck. They ain't going to be they ain't going to be there. I think it might be 20. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. But we've had championship races. Friday nights, Monday nights, you name it. 30 car field, 30 truck fields. Hell, we start out with I think at one point, we had 40 of them at one point at Daytona, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It was a long time ago. You get down to the championship race, where the fuck's your field? Now, granted, some of them, they may have, something to come up and everything. I get that. But when you go from about 40 down to about 20, and then you only got 20 people showing up for a fucking championship race, well, what's my point? Why should I show up? I'm not, I ain't got a shot, to go for the championships. What the fuck should I show up for? You show up because you're still going for points. You're still trying to move up, as far as, extra money and everything. So you're going for the points, you're going for the money. Some of these guys got sponsors on their damn trucks that pay for their way to get into some of these damn races. NASCAR, okay, say, my boy, Ross Chastain. I would say my other boy, Kyle Larson, but Larson's going to make the fucking playoffs anyway. We know this. Say Ross doesn't make it. Let's just say Ross Chastain doesn't make that 16 race field, which there's beef right there. The sumbitch ought to be all the way down to 10, 12, 10 drivers. 16's way too fucking many. But say Ross Chastain don't make them playoffs. Say he doesn't make it in the top 16. Will he? Probably. But say he doesn't. Or take Kyle Busch. Fuck, he didn't make it. What's he going to do the last 10 races? Sit there and say, oh, no, I ain't racing. I'm going to sit at the house. I'm going, with the wife and, the kids. I'm just going to take the last 10 weeks off. Can he do that? No, he can't fucking do that. Why? Because he's under contract. That's why. These guys, obviously, they're not under contract, with NASRA and these playoffs and all this shit. They're not under contract to do these races. But at the same time, they're not going to show up. What have we got to show up for? Why? Why show up? We ain't got nothing else to shoot for. You keep the playoff format the way that it is right now, people will show up. People will come. You ever heard, watch Field of Dreams? People will come, Ray. Well, people will come. They will show up for these fucking races. Will it narrow down? Yeah. I mean, you still might have about 20 of them still at the damn end of it. But you run the playoff format how they got it right now, and then if somebody starts going out there and waxing ass halfway through it, people at the back end of that championship format that's already locked in, they ain't going to show up. Hell, what have I got to show up for? Hell, I ain't got a shot. The win in the end, shit, it works on sim race. Now, that may be an unpopular opinion, and some of y'all might think I'm stupid as shit on that. That's my opinion. But look back at the history and look back at the playoffs that we've had in NASRA. Trust me. We've had 40 truck fields, whatever. And we get down to the last 3-4 races, whatever it is, and that field has dwindled. It has in the past. It will happen. So, do I think it's good for real racing? No, I do not. Do I think it's good for sim racing? Yes. I think it is fantastic for sim racing. Just for the simple fact that it will keep people coming. Because you don't want to run into that situation. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Like I said, let me know. You think I'm fucking stupid, send me a message. But the ones that think I am stupid are probably the ones that will show up every single week. They probably think I'm stupid. Watch what happens in a couple weeks when DSR's getting down to the end of it. If we still got a 30 truck field when we go to the last race, it's either I'm looking like a dumbass, and I could, but somebody has listened to the podcast and somebody's actually opened their eyes, and a lot of them probably sit there and go, you know what, maybe we fucked up. Now, I doubt it, but, like I said, that's my opinion. That's why I got a microphone. That's why I got a podcast. That's why I have an opinion. I throw my opinion out there, and like I said, if you don't like it, I don't know what to fucking tell you, but I speak my opinion on here, and that's my opinion. You keep the playoff, knockout shit, keep it in sim racing. If you don't, people's going to quit fucking showing up at the end of these races, and you're not going to have this big field that could impact a championship race. You want the entertainment, there's your fucking entertainment, We're entertainers, is what Dean says. We're entertainers. Well, the guys that's out there racing, they are the ones that entertain us, and we're the ones calling their shit. If there ain't nobody out there to call, where's the fucking entertainment? I mean, we can bullshit in the booth all we want to, but it's the same fact, or the same point, rather. There ain't nobody fucking race down there. Where's your entertainment? You're just sitting there listening to people bullshit, which I get paid either damn way. Second beef, and this is for just anybody out there. This is just anybody out there, and I've seen it, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it as well, is people, and anybody that, every damn one of y'all has got to have a job. If y'all got a job, or y'all may be retired, but everybody has seen something like this. Everybody has seen people that want to ask Kiss for positions. Ask Kiss, and not necessarily for work, but just in general, people just ask Kiss. And it's stupid. I mean, it blows my mind. But I mean, it's just the generation that we're in now. It's the, I was always raised to work your ass off for everything that you got. And I do. I work my ass off for everything I got. Not just this podcast, but for, what I have here at this house, what we have in this house, for this house. And we rent, but hey, it's a fucking house and it's got a roof over it and it's got walls. It's where you live, your place to live. You work for it. And I've always worked for everything that I've got. Never kissed ass for it. Not gonna kiss ass for it. The people that does do that, they're a special breed of fucked up. And that's just my opinion. And, and I'm sure everybody out there, they've been a part of that some way, somehow. If you're listening to this and you are an ass kisser, I can tell you whose ass that you can kiss, and it's mine. Because, and probably everybody else that's pissed off because you're one of them. So, like I said, it's just the damn world that we live in. It's just how people want to do and how people want to be, and just do these. Just do it. I mean, they gotta live with it. They gotta live with it. But at the same time, you sit there and you look at some of these people that are doing the ass kissing, and you sit there and you just look at them, and you're like, well, you want to do it that bad enough? Go ahead. I mean, you want it that bad? Do you really want it that bad? Do you really want to, be that much of a kiss ass? Well, some people can live with it. I can't. I can't live with that. Like I said, I was raised different. I was raised old school. To work for everything that you got. So, yeah. That's second beef I got. I only got two. It's the fact of people not probably wanting to show up for the championship races if we go straight points at the end of 10 races, or for that matter, regular season. Back to that one. You run 25 races? I think it's 25, 26 races in the Cops and the NASRA Truck Series. And I'm not just saying that NASRA. I'm talking about any race league that there is. Any race league that there is. You run that sumbitch straight points after 25. Now, I don't know how the hell the Heart2Heart guys does it. They do it, granted 12 races and everything else, and the same amount of people that showed up at the fucking start is the same ones that showed up at the end. I got to give them credit. I love it. That's a damn good group of guys right there. They got that is dedication. But for the most part, you got to have playoffs in sim racing, because if you don't, it doesn't make a fuck about the payout and everything. Which the bad part about it is, hell, you got people, well, people pay to get in the races. They still got to pay, but then, they get kicked out of the league if they're not paying and everything else. I mean, so you got that option, but, I mean, it's just me. It's just me personally, Like I said, my opinion, I mean, everybody's opinions like assholes. Everybody's got one. These are my opinions. I think the knockout shit should stay in sim racing. It's just me. And stay within NASRA. And ass kissers, you want to kiss ass, kiss mine. That's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think about everything. Let me know if you got beef with me on some of the comments that I've made. If you do, holler at me. We'll talk about it. Hell, if you're one of them ass kissers, hell, holler at me. Let me know whose ass you're kissing, and I'll tell you how bad you're fucking it up. But anyway, that's about all we got here on the podcast. Go back and download Spotify and Apple. Go give some love over to the new YouTube channel. We're going to start getting some more content up. We got some archives as well, from every night of the King of Daytona. That we had. Obviously we don't have Sunday nights with Tyler and Wesley, but all of them that I was involved with and all the races that I'm involved with, we're going to stream them the radio style. We don't have the pictures and all that shit. But we still got the radio style, and then obviously we'll get some game stuff up. And, even with that YouTube channel, we're going to start trying to do some of these podcasts live streaming. Get some guests in here. It may just be me. Just sit here and do a live stream with everybody and, take some questions and everything else, have a question time, ask Jake, and everybody kind of chime in, and you can sit there, you can tell me what you think, you can ask me some questions, and I'll answer them live on the air, and just kind of interact with everybody, and kind of get a little episode going on that, and then we can pop it up on Spotify and Apple the day after, or whatever, we'll throw some content out there one way or another. Let me know what y'all think, and what y'all think about it, and if y'all be interested in it, so... But that's going to do it for this podcast episode. Hope y'all love it. Hope y'all, staying safe and everything that y'all doing and everything. And we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, with DSR Electric getting going with the playoffs, and obviously with XCAL getting started as well. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to get the Heart2Heart guys back at it on Sunday nights and finish out with Cops for Season 11. The concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, and see if MDW can somehow or another end up winning the damn championship as hard as he is, or as close as he's come so many times. We'll see if he can pull it off. Or hell, for anybody for that matter, who the fuck's going to win it? We'll just find out and see exactly what happens. But anyway, as I say in each and every week, by the way, real quick, once again, thanks, sponsors, Dan, NASRA 360 Racing Network, everybody that sponsors, everybody that shows love and support, means so much to me. Honestly, near and dear to my heart. Love each and every one of you. Take forever to get that out. I've been sitting here bullshitting for an hour, but I'm fixing to go get some pizza and go watch some TV. See what's going on and see what's going on in the real world, as Alan Jackson would say, here in the real world. But obviously that was a sad song. As I say each and every week, I'm the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves, and as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Hashtag Redneck Announcer 57. I love it.
3 wide for the lead here at Talladega. The door bang coming to the line.
Check out everything the Redneck Announcer has to offer. TikTok, Redneck Announcer 57, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also on X, the Jake Reeves 57.